So yeah, Generation 5, or did we? Okay, Super ends, and then there's like another lull. Now this, I guess, could be like where the Generation 4s kind of like. Well, it's still coming in, but like it kind of dies down as the time goes on.
Right. Well,
2000.
one of the things I've noticed about this current generation that I don't like is a lot of them are getting into the series through the mobile game, Dokkan and Legends. And the reason why I don't like that is because they're familiarizing themselves with a series without actually watching the series.
Mhm.
I saw a guy the other day on YouTube streaming Dokkan, and I have nothing against the dude. It ain't nothing personal, but the video was him introducing his girl to Dokkan. She had never played Dokkan, and she never even saw Dragon Ball. And I wrote in the comment, I'm like, show her the series, and she's like, yeah, we'll get there. And I'm like, she's talking about Goku Black and all this shit that you're not supposed to know about until you see the original show, and then you get to Super, and it kills any kind of like surprise.
Yeah.
If you're doing it like that, so you're playing the video game, you're seeing all of Goku's forms, you're seeing all these characters, and so when you go back and start watching, even from starting Z, you're just not gonna get like the same context, and that is something I don't like. People who aren't even Dragon Ball fans are either getting into it through Dokkan, or in the art community, there's artists that draw Dragon Ball that have never seen the series before.
Which is
and
baffling.
that type of shit annoys me. It's poser shit, bro. It's your poser.
Yeah. It's amazing, but like that's almost like a microcosm of, I guess you could say, Dragon Ball's entire fandom. Because like people get into it at different parts, and then it fucks with their brain when they see the earlier stuff. So it's like you really don't, when you don't have, especially like when you don't have like any context for anything before. This is why like this is the only series where I legitimately want to like, if I could, see a series, like wipe the brain and then see a series from start to finish from the beginning, this is what I would do. Because I had my sister do this as a punishment, because I remember she had done something stupid, so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna have you watch Dragon Ball from the start. And she actually ended up liking it, because her favorite character was Oolong when she started out, and then it switched to like Yamcha, and I was like, you're liking characters that people trash on, you know what I'm saying? It's weird, people neglect and trash on. I'm just like, it's funny because you get a different perspective. And when she was watching it,
completely different.
Yeah, and she was Pan's age. I'm surprised she liked Pan and GT because she was annoying as fuck. But like, she was like watching it. I'm just like, you like these characters? I was like, who's your favorite villain? She liked the Ginyu, like all that stuff. I'm just like, she has different like, people like when you see it from start to finish, you have a different appreciation, even from guys like us who saw it cut midway, because we don't know how it's like to experience it from the start without any context for these characters. So that's a beautiful thing.
I have to rewire my brain to do that, and you're able to do it if you really concentrate hard enough. But deep down inside, you're concentrating hard enough, so you can't hide it.
Exactly.
But it's a much better series if you watch the whole thing.
Yeah.
Start to finish, from Pilaf to Boo, is what I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And then all the ancillary stuff, if you want to get into that, go ahead. But I think
that'd be after.
But that stuff, like,
that'd be after,
speaking of the Gen 4s, like, that would melt their... I'm surprised, like, their brains aren't melted. Like, especially with now, like, as we get into this Gen 5 era, where it's like Daima, post this. And it's like, there's so much stuff happening in this small little time frame, right? Where it's like, okay, what happens first? What happens now? And then people worry about canon so much, so they're not even... They worry about canon more than they actually do the story, which is crazy to me. They're like, what actually happened here? Did Goku go to the demon world? Did Pan fight against the Red Ribbon Army? Like, what's happened? I could see how someone would get like so confused they wouldn't even start. It's like it has the One Piece problem, right? Where it's so many episodes, so much content, where you're just like, why even start? Because Oda's not even finished. You think you're gonna fucking finish? Get the fuck out of here, So it's like, why even start this series if it's like this jam-packed, especially like with everything. There's this 10-year gap of peace has the most violence and most chaos that Dragon Ball's ever seen in its entirety.
Right.
Which is funny.
You're right. It's not peace, bro. And the thing is, it would have been different if the entire series took place in a different place, and most of Super does. That's the thing. Battle of Gods is on Earth. That's fine. Resurrection F is on Earth, though. Then the Universe 6 tournament's not on Earth. Future Trunks arc is in the future mostly, and Tournament of Power is not on Earth. But then the Moral arc is on Earth, and so is the Broly movie, and so is Superhero. So
And
there
it was.
there ain't no peace. It was fine at first, but that's been thrown out the window, bro.
So it's like, how do you even put yourself, like, try to, like, put yourself in the mind of a kid growing up, especially today, like, post Toriyama, where you see Daima, and then you see SS4, but you're like, wait a minute, they already did that. And you're just like, wait, what's going on? It's like, some of this stuff just won't make sense. Like, especially now, it's getting more and more convoluted because they love just going back to the nostalgia. You're going back to nostalgia. And like I said, like with the 30-year rule, GT's hit that 30-year rule, where now the kids who grew up with it in Japan have literally, as Akio Yoku said, they had their own kids, and now their kids are experiencing GT. So now is Dragon Ball Forever just going to be like, what, are they going to have the Kai freaking re-edit of Kai come back in like 30 years or something? Which, honestly, with the way this series...
Well, they do need to readapt the manga from the beginning, but that's not going to be a Kai thing. They used to be doing it all over again, like, animating it all over again. I don't know, man, but that is something that needs to happen someday. I kept thinking for the 50th anniversary, they should go in and just start from the very beginning again with new animators and animate all of the original 42 volumes. That would be cool. Under one name, not Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball, the full story. That's what needs to happen at some point, because now that Toriyama's gone, I don't know what's going to happen in the future when it comes to content.
The funny thing is, they're very unpredictable with what they put out. It's like, you think they're going one way and then they go like a totally different way. It's like, how you think you're going to get new Dragon Ball, like a new Dragon Ball, but then they introduce Daima. And so like people think like, wait, why are they doing this? And it's almost like they introduce things that you think people would like too. Okay, fusion bugs, all this stuff doesn't get paid off. Oh, okay. And then people just sit around like, oh, okay. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm just like, but the thing is, it's just, like, I don't know how people, like, I think it's the same way you feel about wrestling. It's like, how is anyone going to get into this show at this point when it's just so, like, out of control? Like, the way wrestling is, like, it's one big ad now. Like, things, it's just like...
You have to start at the beginning, bro. That's it, you know? That's what I think. It's the only way, right?
Really, it really is. But, like, I guess that's, like, pretty much all the generations covered.
Bro, I got into Sopranos this year for the first... No, yeah, it was this year. And that's an old show that came out in 98. I got into Sopranos now, and I started at season 1 because that's where you start. Why would I start at later seasons? And that's why I don't like when fans are like, oh, if you're going to get into JoJo's, you can skip part 1. What the fuck?
Or like the super argument.
You can skip OG Dragon Ball and go to Z. Like, no, what the fuck? No, that's not how it's meant to be.
That's what I'm saying.
Start at the beginning, you fuck. I'm just saying, bro, that shit gets on my nerves. You know,
I feel the same way.
We're going to start at season 3. What? Dragon Ball Z is like season... If you're going to break Dragon Ball up into arcs or seasons, Dragon Ball Z is like season 4 or 5.
Yeah. And it's the same...
Why would you start in the...
It's the same argument people use like when they evaluate Dragon Ball Super 2. Like, oh, just skip the first 27 episodes because that's really when the show starts.
Okay, that's different. No. I agree with that because they're just retellings of movies. Just watch the movies. Fuck those episodes.
No,
that's different.
I'm talking about their analyses. Their analyses of the show, like because when you analyze Dragon Ball Super as a series, as a like from episode 1 to 131.
Yeah, the first 2 arcs make it worse than it actually is.
Exactly. I'm just like they anchor it down.
I should not have to start at episode 28.
Exactly. Same thing with like Funimation. Why start at episode 16 of GT? That's ridiculous.
A grand problem.
And I think that makes it even worse because now you have even less information going into the series, you know? But
did you know that Cartoon Network, you probably didn't know this.
Yeah.
You know they fucked up and never aired the real episode 16 of GT?
Of course, I didn't know that, but damn.
So when GT aired on Cartoon Network, They started with a dub-only episode called A Grand Problem, which is a recap of the first 16 episodes of GT. But what happened was they aired episode 16. No, not 16. A Grand Problem is a dub-only episode that catches you up to what's been going on in GT, so they can start there.
Yeah.
So they started with that, and then they all the way to the end of the series. Then they aired the lost episodes because they called it the lost episodes. And when they aired the lost episodes, they only aired 1 through 15. They didn't air the actual episode 16 because Cartoon Network thought that A Grand Problem was the real episode 16. So the real GT episode 16 did not air on Toonami the first run, bro.
Goodness
That's
gracious.
what happens when you do stupid shit like that.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh, man.
It's the same thing with Nicktoons getting GT before the Boo Saga.
That
You're just
pisses
gonna
me
confuse
off.
people.
But you know what? I'm glad I
They
grew up
should
with
have got
it.
OG Dragon Ball first.
That's what I said. But like, hey, it's the way things work out. Like, I caught this stuff online, like, you know, all these movies and all that stuff. I had to go back and see it online. But I still, like, I was caught up, you know what I'm saying? I don't know how it's going to be way harder for somebody to catch up, like, starting with it now. But, hey, it is what it is, you know?
Right. Well, it's worth it, I think.
Yeah.
It's worth it.
But I guess
You're
that
gonna get
brings
good shit.
Yeah, that brings this whole. This is pretty much like a podcast in a way, but I guess that brings this to a close. You know what I'm saying? Like, we caught up and everything like that, but yeah, this a whole bunch of memories just came flushing back into my head from this. But yeah, this was a nice talk. I really enjoyed your company, and you said you wanted.
Yeah, thank you. It was fun.
Oh yeah, you said you wanted to plug your stuff. I guess for this section, I'm just gonna have like a little screenshot of your shirt, you doing this or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, the shirt and the hat, bro. Where the hell?
Yeah.
The hat. This hat is available in the store.
Mhm.
I like that hat, bro. Ultra Instinct, Ultra Ego, and Broly, whatever the fuck he is.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know if anybody knows, but like I really do like your the KLB podcast. That shit is funny as hell.
We haven't done one in a while, bro.
No, you know what y'all should do? Like y'all should go over like Cena's like last year, like if y'all want to do that, because that'd be like all the missteps they had along the way. I think they really dropped.
We could do that after he finally retires. Yeah. I think the next thing we're gonna do is watch the Morton Downey show on YouTube.
Is that I Wanted a Woman? Is David Schultz? Is he gonna be on there?
He's on there. He didn't